You've been showing up to the gym consistently. You're eating protein. You're doing the sets, the reps, all of it. And yet, your body looks almost exactly the same as it did 6 months ago. Here's the truth nobody in the fitness industry wants to say out loud. Most people who go to the gym are wasting their time. Not because they're lazy. Not because their genetics are bad. Not because they need a fancier program or a more expensive supplement. It's because they are training at the wrong intensity. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what that means and exactly how to fix it. In this video, we're going to cover 3 things. 1. Why training intensity is the single biggest factor most people are missing. 2. What proximity to failure actually means and why it determines whether your workout even counts. 3. How overtraining is silently destroying your results and the exact recovery protocol to fix it. Stick around till the end because the third point is the one most people completely ignore, and it might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. Let me ask you an honest question. When was the last time a set in your workout was genuinely hard? Like last rep, shaking, not sure if you'd make it hard. If you're being honest with yourself and the answer is, I can't remember, that's your problem right there. Here's something most gym influencers skip over because it's not pretty or exciting to say. Muscle growth is your body's response to stress. When you place enough mechanical tension on a muscle, enough stress, your body sends a signal. That signal says we need to grow, we need to get stronger, because if this happens again we need to be ready. But if the stress is not high enough, the body sends a completely different signal. And that signal says, we're fine, don't change anything. That's what's happening when you go to the gym and do 3 sets of 10 with the same weight you've been using for the past 4 months. Your body is not impressed, it's not stressed, and it is definitely not growing. So the question becomes, how do you know if your intensity is actually high enough? That's where the next concept comes in. This concept is called proximity to failure, and once you understand it, you will never train the same way again. Here's what it means. Let's say you're doing a set of dumbbell curls. You pick up a weight, you do 12 reps and you put it down. Now, how many more reps could you have done if you absolutely had to? If the answer is 6, 7, or 8 more reps, you weren't even close to the stimulus your muscles need to grow. But if the answer is 1 or 2 more reps, now we're talking. That is the zone. In exercise science, this is measured using something called RIR, reps in reserve, and the research is very clear on this. Multiple peer-reviewed studies show that if you are more than 4 reps away from failure, your muscle growth stimulus drops off dramatically. The sweet spot for hypertrophy is 1 to 3 reps in reserve. You finish the set knowing with absolute certainty that you had maybe 1 or 2 solid reps left in the tank. That's it. Now I want to be very clear about something. This does not mean training to complete failure every single set. That's not the goal, and it's actually counterproductive. Training to true failure, especially on compound movements like squats or bench press, increases injury risk, tanks your recovery, and causes form breakdown that makes the movement less effective anyway. What we are after is controlled proximity to failure. Perfect form, full range of motion, and stopping the set when you have 1 or 2 solid reps left, not when your body is falling apart. Think of it like a dial, on one end way too easy. You leave 8 reps on the table, nothing happens, no growth signal, on the other end reckless. You grind to absolute failure every set, form breaks down, injury risk skyrockets. Your job is to consistently land in the middle. That is where muscle growth lives. Start tracking your RIR. After every set, ask yourself, how many more could I have done with perfect form? If that number is more than 3, add weight or add reps next session. Simple as that. Alright, so now you understand intensity. You're going to push harder, get closer to failure, actually challenge your muscles. Perfect. But here's where a lot of people go wrong next, and this is the part that will absolutely destroy your progress if you're not careful. They think, okay, more intensity means more gains, so more intensity more often means even bigger gains. No, that is not how this works. Here is one of the most important things I can tell you about building muscle, and I want you to really hear this. Your muscles do not grow during your workout. They grow during your recovery. When you train, you are creating microscopic damage to your muscle fibers. You are breaking them down. That workout is the stimulus. But the actual growth, the repair, the adaptation, the size and strength increase, all of that happens after you leave the gym. So if you are constantly training the same muscle groups without giving them adequate time to recover, you are literally interrupting the growth process. You are breaking things down faster than your body can rebuild them. And here's what makes it worse. Chronic overtraining spikes a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. In small amounts it's fine, even helpful. But chronically elevated cortisol from overtraining does 3 things you absolutely don't want. 1, it breaks down muscle tissue for energy. The opposite of what you want. 2, it suppresses testosterone production. Again, the opposite of what you want. 3, it impairs sleep quality, which directly destroys your recovery. The crazy part, most people experiencing this don't even realize it. They think they're not seeing results because they're not working hard enough, so they train more, and they dig the hole deeper. Signs you might be in this trap: you're always tired, your strength has plateaued or gone backwards, you're getting sick more often, your motivation to train has dropped, and you have nagging injuries that won't fully heal. Sound familiar? Then what comes next is exactly for you. Building muscle isn't just about what happens in the gym. It's about what you do in the other 22 hours of the day. And if those hours aren't dialed in, it doesn't matter how hard you train. Here's the recovery protocol I'd give to anyone serious about building muscle. Pillar 1: sleep. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Non-negotiable. This is when your body releases the majority of its human growth hormone. HGH is one of the primary drivers of muscle repair and growth. If you're sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, you are actively sabotaging your own results, no matter what your workout looks like. Dark room, cool temperature, no screens 30 minutes before bed. Treat your sleep like a training session, because it is. Pillar 2: nutrition. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. Your protein target for muscle growth is between 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. In practical terms, if you weigh 180 pounds, that's roughly 130 to 180 grams of protein daily. And here's something people don't want to hear. If you're in a significant calorie deficit, muscle building is going to be very, very slow. You cannot efficiently build tissue while aggressively cutting fuel. If muscle growth is the priority right now, make sure you're eating enough to support it. Pillar 3: low-intensity movement. This one surprises people. One of the best things you can do on your rest days is go for a walk, not a run, not a light gym session. A 20 to 30-minute walk, preferably outside. Low-intensity aerobic activity increases blood flow to your muscle tissue, which accelerates nutrient delivery and waste removal. It also actively lowers cortisol levels. It's almost like hitting a reset button on your stress hormones. Walk at a pace where you could hold a conversation. That's the zone. Pillar 4: stress management. This last one gets dismissed a lot, but hear me out. Mental and emotional stress produces the exact same cortisol response as physical stress. Your body doesn't distinguish between "I'm stressed about work" and "I just did a brutal leg day." So if your life is chronically high stress, your body is in a constant state of cortisol elevation, and that environment is hostile to muscle growth. Start treating stress management as part of your fitness protocol. Breathwork, journaling, time outside, limiting your screen time at night. These aren't soft recommendations. They directly impact your ability to build muscle. Let's bring it all together. If you are not building muscle, here's what to look at. Number 1, check your intensity. Are you training close enough to failure? Aim for 1 to 3 reps in reserve on every working set. Number 2, are you recovering enough? Muscle grows during rest, not during the workout. More retraining is not always the answer. Better recovery often is. Number 3, nail the 4 recovery pillars: sleep, protein, low-intensity movement, and stress management. Do these 3 things consistently for 8 to 12 weeks, and I promise you, you will look back on this video as a turning point. If this video gave you something real, something you're actually going to use, hit that like button. It helps more people find this content, and it genuinely means a lot. I also have a video coming next week on the exact rep ranges for every major muscle group: biceps, chest, back, legs, all broken down scientifically. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And drop a comment below, tell me what's been your biggest struggle with building muscle. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one. Keep pushing.